Hello, Leo. Welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of December 4th through December 10th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Okay, now we're going to see what messages are coming through. What is it that you need to know? What is the energy? Well, we've got that star card. That is a wonderful way to begin the reading. I think this is it's going to be a week full of blessings and abundance for you, right? But let's put that into some context and see if we can get a little more information. Now, we're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread as we usually do. And that is going to include this mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, whatever you want to call it. Going to put that right there. Not looking at that until the very end, so stick around to the end of your reading to find out how that card will tie everything together and give us that confirmation that we need at the very end, right? To kind of just get everything together, that missing key, missing piece of the puzzle there. Okay, so we start out with the star card. Okay, so I feel like there are some positive events coming your way. Okay, let me just put it that way. I'm just trying to search for the right word. I see a lot of other cards here that are indicating things may not have been going so well for you. Okay, but I feel like this is really the week where you're going to start to feel that abundance. You're going to start to feel that things are turning around. Okay, and it might be more in the form of just like an intuition, or just kind of a feeling, or there might be some kind of a confirmation from the world that you're on the right track now. Right? Maybe kind of a surge of confidence, like a surge of adrenaline, right? It's almost like you're just going to get that feeling that things are going to be okay and that you're on the right track now. Okay? So we'll see if we can get a little more information out of this star card and what kind of blessings, what kind of abundance she's actually foreshadowing for you. Okay? Because we do see that she's been crossed by the Seven of Discs. And the key word for this card is failure, okay? But let's not get too upset just yet, because the failure of this kind it means a couple different things. One, I think this has maybe been your failure in the past to recognize this kind of surge of abundance, this blessing, this confidence, right? This kind of energy that's coming your way maybe has come your way before, but you haven't quite acted on it. You maybe haven't really put it into play or taken advantage of that opportunity. And this is like just that gut feeling maybe that you've had in the past, but you didn't act on it, right? And I think you recognize that, because I feel like this happens to all of us at some point, right? Where when we're kind of reflecting on some event or some situation, some set of circumstances, we always think, man, I should have trusted my gut. I should have gone with my instinct. Okay? And I think this is one of those kinds of situations. I think there was an instant recently, some set of circumstances where you should have trusted your gut, but you didn't. And it didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. And upon reflection, you said, I should have trusted my gut. I should have listened to my instincts. But I think this week, you're going to be ready for that. I think this time around, you're going to go with your gut. You're going to trust your instinct. Okay? And then also with the Seven of Discs, I feel like this isn't so much an energy that's going to provide you with a financial abundance, right? Or what I'm trying to say is this impulse that you have to create, to follow your bliss, I guess, to use that cliche, or to utilize this energy. It's not just for material gain, okay? I think the importance here is the message that you're receiving, the trust in yourself, the trust in that instinct, that gut feeling, right? And utilizing that, right? It's not just for financial gain that you're doing this. I think that the main point of all of this is to really start to trust yourself, right? To start listening to that inner voice, right? That it, and it may be a divine voice or kind of an intuition that seems to come from above and beyond, right? Outside of yourself. So with the Seven of Discs here, it's not just about look, I have to make these choices and take advantage of this opportunity to get this financial result, right? I don't think your motives are that simple. I think, yeah, superficially, you want to get the money, of course, right? We all need to have financial security. I think it's one of our kind of basic needs there. But that's not why you're doing all of this. That's not why you are, looking for these opportunities. That's not why you are working so hard to create, whatever this is that you're creating, whatever energy you've been trying to kind of put into motion. Okay? And I feel like, again, we've got this Five of Cups in the recent past. So I think this is another indication that there have been these instances where you've gotten that gut feeling, but you either ignore it or you don't trust it. And then it leads to, a failure of this kind of failure to materialize whatever your plans are, whatever your goals and intentions are. So, and that then upon reflection, it leads to that disappointment where you feel like you should have listened to your gut, you should have listened to your instincts. Okay, so the Five of Cups in the recent past is telling me that this has happened before, right? Where it's this, you get this star impulse, this intuition, this gut feeling, this kind of signal from the universe, this may be a synchronicity, right? And instead of following it, you do something else. You let your conscious mind kind of interferes with it, and it fails to materialize, okay? And again, with this Seven of Discs, it's not just about materializing the financial benefits of what you're doing, the work that you're doing, but it's about kind of getting out of this cycle of not trusting yourself, right? Of not listening to your gut. Because then, upon reflection, we get right back to the Five of Cups, which is this kind of lack of confidence in yourself, okay? And then I want to go up here to the top of the Path of the Dove, where we have the Chariot card. And this is the reading in a nutshell. This is kind of what everything's all about this week. And this Chariot card is about being ready for that next step, being prepared in every way possible to move forward with this work, whatever this project is, whatever this advancement of your life is about. And I don't know, I don't have details if this is something that's strictly like career-centered or if this is an overall advancement of your success in life, your professional and your private lives, just to kind of level everything up. But you're prepared. You've done the work for it. You've gotten everything in order. There's no reason why you shouldn't be moving forward. So it feels like to me, with this Chariot card, there's something that's holding you back. There's something that's preventing you from, putting your chariot into motion, getting those wheels turning, getting those sphinxes, on the road and pulling the chariot along. And that leads me back to the cycle that we're in here, where there is this gut feeling, this intuition, maybe this synchronicity, that really should give you the green light. But for some reason it doesn't. For some reason something is blocked, and it feels like there's that lack of trust in yourself or that lack of confidence. Okay? So the only thing the chariot is really waiting for is that impulse, that putting the vehicle in gear and hitting the gas. But something's preventing that, and I think it's some kind of apprehension or a mistrust in yourself, or just a lack of confidence in these signs and symbols and synchronicities that you're receiving in your life, okay? And we can only ignore those for so long before they start to become more and more obvious, because it is like our unconscious mind being projected into the external world trying to make a point, okay? And I feel like it's been trying to make a point with you for a while, but for some reason, we just keep looping back into this Five of Cups, right? This disappointment, this lack of confidence, this lack of trust in ourselves, okay? But being a major arcana card, the star card is not going to quit. These messages are going to keep coming. These gut feelings, these intuitions, these synchronicities are going to keep happening until you understand the message, okay? And I feel like what that may involve is some of this hermit energy. This is in the near future. And this is, maybe sometime in relative isolation. Take a break from some of your activities, right? Maybe use the winter season. Okay, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's starting to get cold. We're moving into winter. Maybe take this opportunity to withdraw into yourself a little bit and look for your guiding light. Seek out that within you that may be a little bit apprehensive or maybe a little bit mistrusting of these signs, symbols, synchronicities, and get in touch with yourself. Find your inner light so that you can resolve this cycle that you're in of, again, kind of ignoring these gut feelings and just staying in this loop of, disappointment and failure. And really the failure to get this chariot moving. So something's like getting in the way of the wheels here. Okay. And it's only going to be through introspection and contemplation, some meditation, really look within for that guidance and to try to find out what this obstacle is. Okay. And now, at the bottom of the path of the dove, we have a card that is showing what these subconscious impulses are all about, right? Maybe what the message is that's trying to be communicated, that's being projected into the external world, right? For your conscious mind to perceive. And we have an 8 of Wands. Now, this is, in the one case, this is the looping back because it's the number 8, right? So it's that infinity symbol. It keeps looping back on itself. So this is this cycle that you're in, okay? And I think part of the message really from your own unconscious, right, from your own soul, is you have to recognize that you're in this cycle. You have to recognize that you keep looping from this, whatever this failure is. Now, I don't like that word failure, but I think it is a lack of materialization, right? A lack of manifestation of what your intentions are. And it's looping back to this 5. This 5 of Cups, this disappointment, is looping back to this 7 of Discs, this, relative failure to materialize. And so it's just this kind of loop that you're in. So the 8 of Wands is trying to get you to recognize this loop that you're in. But it's also, I think, presenting a sense of urgency to the situation. And I don't know what kind of business you're in or what kind of work you're doing, but I feel like time is of the essence here. Okay? And that could be why you have this apprehension because, in some ways that it's coming up soon, like the due date's getting close, and that is kind of leading to this, procrastination kind of thing, right? And I don't know why that is, but I do feel like time is of the essence, and it's important to recognize this cycle that you're in so that you can move forward as quickly as possible and get things done. Heed the signs and symbols around you. Pay attention to those synchronicities because that is how you're going to be moving forward. And I think that it may involve a little bit of this hermit energy, at least for a brief period of time, for you to just recenter, get balanced, right? And try to understand this cycle that you're in with this 5 and this 7, and see if we can get the chariot moving. Okay, because I feel like there are some, big plans, there are big things that are in store for you. But I just feel like we have to get out of this cycle that we're in. We have to get out of this loop. And honestly, we have these major arcana cards, quite a few majors today. We have the Chariot, the Star, and that Hermit. So it seems like the way forward is to really pay attention to the synchronicities, the signs, the symbols, the omens, and use those to reflect, to do the kind of inner work, to understand what those synchronicities and what those signs and symbols are trying to communicate to you, because they're coming from your unconscious. They're coming from deep within you, right? And I think through this meditation, through this hermit energy, I think you can kind of sort that out and you can get the chariot moving. We can get ourselves quickly out of this loop, this cycle that we're in, right? And it's kind of like an underachieving kind of thing, right? It's just you have these plans and these big ideas. I think looking at the path of the serpent, there's a lot going on for your life. I think you're on the verge of a major breakthrough, some kind of major progress. but there's that apprehension there. There's just this reluctance to get things moving. And I don't know if it's fear or if it is just kind of some kind of nostalgia, but something's keeping you in this loop of just kind of not materializing this, right? Not stepping up and really going to that next level. All right. But let's move over here now to the path of the serpent, because your general energy is this 4 of discs or pentacles. So it seems to me like this is your overall focus right now on financial stability, domestic stability, your professional and your personal life. You're trying to get everything settled, get everything in order. You're trying to build up your kind of earthly power, right? Your financial life, your wealth. You're trying to build up your physical vitality. You're trying to really build up and level up, really, your domestic life, right? Your romantic life, your family, your home, that sort of thing. Everything that the physical world offers us, you're trying to really get established, okay? And this could be that you're still on these kind of basic needs focus, right? You're focused on the 4. This is your general energy. This is kind of what your mind is focused on, what your being, what your soul is kind of looking at right now. And that's this baseline stability, safety, security. So it could be that something going on, maybe something from the path of the dove, maybe something related to this 5 of Cups. Maybe this is in a distant past for you. Maybe there's something here from long ago that is still kind of a lingering issue, right? Some kind of lingering issue that still needs to be dealt with, that is causing you maybe too much concern over your basic needs, right? Perhaps looking at this situation with a little bit of this introspection, maybe you'll see that you have this 4 of discs or pentacles, this kind of basic needs, safety, security, stability. Maybe this is already well taken care of, right? Maybe it's more than enough. And so there's really not a reason why you can't be focused on the next level of things. Is that making sense? I'm trying to figure out how to explain really what I mean, okay? I think that there is something in your past that is causing more concern than necessary over these basic needs, okay? Now, I don't want to assume anything, but it feels to me like it's some lingering issues from long ago, maybe childhood, maybe as a young adult there were some kind of trauma there. I'm just going to say it. All right. And that may still be affecting you now with this kind of hyper focus on these basic needs, right? And it could be that you're so focused on these basic needs, safety, security, stability, that you are unable to really hear or see these messages that were coming in, these synchronicities that are trying to tell you, hey, get a move on. Get this chariot going, right? We're not getting any younger. It's time to really go after your highest goals, your highest achievements, your ideals, right? These basic needs, these are met. I think you don't have to worry about these so much. I think that with this introspection, with this hermit energy, maybe you'll be able to recognize this, that your hyper-focus here is due to some past issue, okay? Something related to this 5 of Cups in your past. And it's kind of, you feel this need to really build up this build up this fortress, these walls around you, right? Your castle. But there's a hyper focus on this foundational abundance, right? This foundational kind of strength and power that is keeping you at this kind of baseline level, okay? And what we really need is this tower energy, this breakthrough, right? Now, the tower is really a very revealing card here because the tower, a lot of people think this is destruction, this is tearing things down, this is some kind of a crisis or, some kind of emergency happening. It's a very scary card, but What the tower actually is symbolizing here is you breaking free from this cycle. Okay? This is you breaking away from, getting away from whatever this Five of Cups event, set of circumstances was in your past. Okay? I originally thought this was part of the loop that you're in with this, this disappointment and this lack of confidence because you're just not, for some reason, not able to get the chariot moving and start materializing your goals, your dreams, your successes. I still think it's part of that, but I think because the Five of Cups is in the position of the recent past, I think in this case it's extending a bit further back in time. Okay, so I think with the Tower card here is confirming that for me, that there is something from the more distant past that you need to break free from. Right? The Tower card is kind of an escape from prison in some ways, right? It's trying to escape these walls that are holding us back, that are trying to contain us. And I think it's also very telling that the Tower card comes right after this castle that you've built, that you're building, that you feel the need to keep building higher and higher and higher, thicker and thicker walls, right? So you have to get yourself out of this mode, out of this cycle, out of this hyper-focus on these basic needs. Because I think your castle is plenty fortified now. Okay, I think you can focus on some other things. Focus on some of your higher ideals, your higher goals and purpose and achievements, and what you really want to manifest in your life. Okay, because the safety, security, and stability, I think, is well taken care of. And the Tower card, yeah, this is, maybe it is a scary card, but I think through this Hermit energy, right, doing the inner work, the introspection, really trying to process whatever this Five of Cups situation was in your past, dealing with this issue here, you're going to allow this kind of divine energy, right? I'm not trying to sound too hocus pocus, too mystical here, but this is, we can call this the message from your unconscious, or from the universe, or from God, or from the divine grace, the blessings, whatever you want to call it. This is coming into your life, right? But there is this lingering issue that is, like I'm restating this now, that's preventing you from receiving this information, this blessing, this grace, which will get this chariot moving. So the Tower energy, I think, is very important. I think that this really is you breaking free from this, you're being tied down kind of by this past trauma. Excuse me, we're a little bit sick in this household. And so this is very, very important. I think that this is the thing that's really going to get and chariots and castles and towers, this all has pretty similar imagery, right? And it could be that, breaking free from this tower, from this kind of prison that we're in, which is related to this Five of Cups, this event from your distant past, and now this current cycle that we're in, right? That we've been talking about. It may be that you really have to get your chariot moving with quite a bit of force, momentum, right? A lot of energy moving in one direction, high velocity, in order to break out of this tower, right? So all of this ties together, and I think this is very important for you to get things moving as kind of a form of therapy, right? To get you out of this loop that you're in, to get your hyper focus away from this Four of Pentacles a little bit. It may just be getting that chariot moving with a lot of velocity, very high velocity, going toward your higher goal, right? What you really want to achieve. Because you've achieved this baseline, this safety, security, stability. I think it's there. It's fine. You can move on now. You can go to the next higher thing for you. What is this passion? What is this work that you're trying to do? What do you really want to accomplish? Well, the next card we have is an Ace of Wands. And this is, kind of taking some of this fire energy from the Tower, because the Tower is Mars. It's, a fiery planet. We had the Eight of Wands, which is also fire, and this is, that sense of urgency, that sense of high velocity, right? And it's all aimed towards this Ace. So whatever your highest goal is, whatever it is that you want to achieve, what does the next level look like for you? What does what does your real achievement, what does real success look like to you? What do you feel passionate about? What do you really want to do? Right? Are you doing what you love? Are you, following your bliss? Those are supposed to be air quotes. Are you doing that? Are you going after kind of, what this Ace of Wands really is for you? What is this one kind of torch that you're carrying that's burning so bright for you? What is that work for you? Okay, because I feel like it has to extend from here, because the 4 is baseline, it's basic, it's strong, it's safe, it's secure, but there's no movement there, right? You're just you just keep building the walls, making them thicker, making them taller. You're doing a lot of work, but you're not really getting anywhere. The chariot is not moving. So we have to get that chariot moving, but you have to know where it's going. And so part of this hermit energy, part of this introspection, is to remind yourself or figure out or just, recognize and be aware of what your burning, bright, fiery, passionate Ace of Wands torch is. Right? What is your passion? What do you want to be doing? What is this chariot? That's not the chariot. What is this chariot going after? Okay. And that's coming through the hermit energy, this introspection, this meditation, this self-reflection, right? So we're going after the Ace. That's kind of the name of the game here. Got to start going after this Ace of Wands. Now, the final card that we see on the path of the Serpent is a court card, and this is a Princess of Cups. Sometimes the Princess of Cups represents a person, sometimes it does not. This could be a water sign person in your life, maybe a younger feminine energy. But someone who cares very, very deeply for you, right? Someone that really wants to see you succeed and really, I think, is a very compassionate, loving, and affectionate person. They don't really know how to help you. They don't really know what to do to be of comfort or be of service to you. But they care for you very deeply. Okay? Now, we haven't talked at all in this reading about relationships or about, other people really at all. But I think that this person is in your life and they really do care about you. They really want you to succeed. They want to see you happy. They want to see you pursuing your highest goals and ideals. They don't know how to help you. They don't know what to do. They're trying to be of service, trying to be a comfort to you, okay? And I think this card is showing up here because this might be, this might connect everything together. Because if we're talking about this event from your past, this 5 of Cups, right? And now, I don't want to get too serious or too heavy, but this could be that past trauma that's still affecting you. It may be that this person in your life is there and ready to listen to you, to support you, to be of comfort, right? And so it could be that this whole reading is looping back in on itself and saying, look, maybe this person, maybe you need to open up to them. And maybe by processing what happened with this 5 of Cups, processing what happened, opening up, talking to this person about it, allowing them to be there for you. Maybe that'll help to initiate some of this fire energy that we see and really get you breaking free of this pattern, this cycle that you're in, and getting on with pursuing this Ace of Wands. Okay. Now that's just an idea. That's just an idea. But I do think the Princess of Cups, even if it's not representing another person, I think this represents you opening up about what happened, either just to yourself, to just kind of process what happened, or to a professional or to a loved one or to your partner or to whomever. But it is about acknowledging and accepting what happened and coming to terms with it, right? Processing it. Okay. But this could be that water sign person in your life, that person that's there to comfort you, to be there for you. Okay. In some capacity. Let's take a look now at this confirmation card, because I'm hoping that we can end on a more lighthearted kind of note here. What could this card be? Well, maybe a 6 of discs or pentacles. I think that would be something quite nice to see here. It could be a 9 or a 10 of pentacles. I'm thinking along the lines of the manifesting things, right? But this could be some more fire too. This could be, a 6 of wands, I think would be nice. A 9 of wands, I think, would be also fairly appropriate here. It could be an empress. I always say it's the empress. It never is the empress. Well, let's find out. Let's take a look. Well, this is the sun card. This is also quite nice. This is, freedom from this prison, this cycle that we are in. This is like a shameless, this is like freeing that child that was kind of locked up in this prison. Now that's kind of a terrible metaphor. It's freeing your inner child, right? It's kind of letting your spirit free, returning to this state of innocence, returning to this state of just freedom and enthusiasm and curiosity, right? And this return to just a really bright, shining, kind of innocent light, okay? And it's really, the sun here is you, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your spirit, it's your heart, just radiating. Nothing, there's nothing blocking it. There are no major, obstacles in the way of this light shining through. And the light really is coming from this star, right? The star card. The star card is that, really mysterious, distant, unknown kind of starlight, right? And of course, we know the sun is a star, right? So this is kind of that star card, but closer to home, more manifested, more materialized. And it's really radiating. It has this freedom and innocence about it, right? It's kind of like that return to that childhood state, right? Unless you become as little children, kingdom of heaven, that whole thing. I don't dive too deeply into the Christian mysticism, but there are a lot of good ideas there. Okay. But with the sun card, this is you having that radiance, having that innocence, returning to that kind of childlike state. Okay. And this is a beautiful card, and I think you can kind of understand its message just by looking at this card. And this is the freedom. This is you've broken free from this tower. You're out of this cycle. And you're free to pursue your goal. You're free to just kind of frolic, right, under the sun and feel its warmth, feel its radiance, and and to be that sun, to be that radiant light in the world, right? Fulfilling your highest nature, right? Becoming who you are, who you're meant to be. Because deep within this sun, what is inside that star but, this giant nuclear reactor, which kind of is this Ace of Wands, right? This is that fire that's kind of behind that sun, that's fueling it. And so this is that passion, this is that highest ideal that you're going after, this achievement, this, whatever your shining torch is. You're kind of guiding light. And that's what's fueling this sun card, and this is you in that fully realized, that return to innocence, that return to a childlike state, right? That freedom and that adventure and that beauty and that radiance. And I think this is the state that you're trying to get back to once we get out of this tower and deal with this 5 of Cups, right? Whatever that stuff was. Processing it, dealing with it, utilizing this Princess of Cups and that Hermit energy, getting the Chariot moving, everything we talked about is leading here. This is the perfect confirmation. This is better than the Empress, all right? This is better than any of the Pentacles that I, was kind of expecting. This is a complete restoration of your health and well-being, right? Making you 100% just complete and whole again. And I think this is a beautiful confirmation. We're going to look at this a little bit more in the extended version. You can become a member to this channel by clicking on the link down in the description box. It's a great way to support the channel. It doesn't cost very much. And, you know, I understand everybody is on a really tight budget these days. I don't expect anything from anyone. Just you being here watching this video is enough for me. And I really appreciate that you've stayed this long. This is already at about a half an hour here. So we're going to wrap it up. We're going to do the extended. This was your weekly tarot reading for December 4th through December 10th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. And I'll see you next week.